what do I want to major in? What do I want to be? I don't know. I guess I'll, move into my parents' house until I'm 40 or not. And
That's okay too.
which is great too. I mean, I'm back and forth myself. I'm not going to deny it, but yeah, I mean, I think that's been, yeah, family is great. But yeah, so I think that you guys are really, you're focused and you're in tune with yourselves and your needs and desires, and even, Sylvie, you kind of reflecting, some of the challenges that the system puts upon your desired career path and the desired career path of your friends, but not being a victim to that at the same time. Um, so yeah, super, super interesting.
So we've covered a lot in here. We've talked about the pluses and minuses of being a homeschooler in college, the general college experience, some advice for other homeschoolers. I wanted to kind of, as a wrap-up question, ask you guys if you could give your college freshman self one piece of advice for success in college, what would it be? Maybe Jessica, you can start us off.
Yeah, the one piece of advice I would give myself, and it's not a piece I would give like all freshmen, specifically more of the homeschool freshmen, is don't like kill yourself over grades. Because for me, I was like, I'm going in here, I'm going to graduate with a 4.0. Like, I will be top of the honors class. Like, it was my first time being in a traditional school setting where grades were given like by someone other than like my parents, with the exception of dual enrollment. And I was so stressed out freshman year. I was like, I need to do every single thing. Like, I need like my grade in Moodle to be 100%. And then like I was like, wait, 93 is an A. Like, I don't need to kill myself over this. Like, I can get a 95 or a 94 or a 93 or even, on a single test, and it's not going to screw up the entire class. So I would tell them, yes, grades are important, but on average, the homeschoolers tend to be like more stressed out about the grades than like not caring enough. So I would tell them to make sure that you're also fostering community and a social life, because if or and outside activities, because if you don't have either sports, art, music, friends, whatever that thing is that keeps you going, you're gonna burn yourself at both ends. And I've watched incoming freshmen do that. They just drive themselves to insanity trying to maintain this ideal of perfection. And it's like, you can be a straight A student. Like, I ended with like a 3.95 or something, like, without actually driving yourself to complete insanity.
So grades are very important, but maybe not as important as we think. What about
Mm-hmm.
you, Sebastian? What was some advice you'd give to your freshman self?
Well, I'm only 1 year distance from my freshman self, so I may not have the most insightful take on this, but I think it's really important for a lot of freshmen to understand the difference between pushing a comfort zone and going off the deep end. Like, e- you're experiencing something new with college. You're going to be there. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fresh. It's going to be new. You should push your comfort zone a little bit. Find some things that you're maybe not super familiar with, and try and learn from them. If you go all the way down, if you push yourself too far, sometimes it can be a little overwhelming, and you won't really know what to do in that case. Finding the right balance of that, I think, as a freshman, is going to be really important for informing the rest of the rest of your time at college, and even higher education in the same way.
So balance is key. And what about
Yes.
you, Sylvie?
This isn't so much specific to as a homeschooler. I wish I had known more about mental health when I was going into college. One point, touching on what Jessica said, I stopped being a straight A student in college, which was okay, but it was a hard adjustment. I wasn't used to failure. Someone mentioned that earlier. It's really important to realize you can fail and still be okay and recover, and your path is not over yet. But I had a counselor in college have me set a goal of having a lower GPA by the end of the semester for mental health reasons, which sounds really bizarre, but it was exactly the right thing at the moment. The balance thing is also huge. You know, when I started out, all I wanted to do was study all the time. My friends were only people I had classes with. When I got to the end of college, I was spending a lot more time socializing, and it became a little harder for me to focus on studying. But realizing that you're in this developmental journey the whole time, and you don't have to stay the same, and you can try different things. And it's okay if something is a struggle now. That doesn't determine, well, where sorry, that doesn't determine where you will be in 2 weeks or 2 years. It's just where you are today.
So learn in the way that helps you the most, regardless of what letter grade or GPA that reflects.
I'm gonna go because I also went to college, even though I wasn't homeschooled. And I have a very strong opinion on this topic, which is I think when I was in college, what I really did right was leverage the incredible network of professors. I participated in a lot of social activism. I interned at an institute for disarmament studies. I had Brandeis fund a trip to research dialogue between um, Jews and Arabs in the West Bank. I did greening activities on my campus, and I leveraged these connections and my grades and accomplishments in college for many, many years to come. I mean, and you're very right, Sebastian, when you say like these networks that we build in college will serve us through our entire careers. However, a big regret I have is that I always felt like I was in a rush and that I was behind. So, for example, like I didn't really start dating until my mid 20s, and I felt like there was something really wrong with me. And I always felt like I was kind of in a rush to, do that timeline of get married, have kids, etc. And I really wish that I had slowed down and put more effort into making friends at college, especially with people who I felt less comfortable with. Like for example, at that time, I felt really uncomfortable around guys. Like all my friends were females. And I think that it would have really served me to try to kind of practice being comfortable with making friends with someone of the opposite gender, or someone who just like had a very different interests than me, like sports or something like that, without feeling any type of pressure around that. And so, kind of coming from the library nerd geek, I mean, I'm happy that I stayed up till 5 in the morning studying and doing 10 million projects and actually like lobbying to get these awards and scholarships. But I just wish that even, maybe if I'd been in the library talking with a friend or, kind of didn't shut down when that person who I felt uncomfortable around came to speak to me, that might have been a little extra that I could have done at that time.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's really important to be able to step out of your comfort zone in all walks of life, but especially in college when you have the opportunity to meet all these new people and do some networking that will help with your career, but also hopefully meet some lifelong friends. So, kind of